Hello everybody, it's Linda Light, and I'm coming to you here from the corner of my room, sitting and pondering about the big elephant in the room, which is the S on our foreheads. I was going to go like this. You guys know it. You know, the shape of the L on your forehead is like loser, right? Well, we've got a big fat S. All of us. It's like pie in your face. I'll get to that in just a second. So you know how, I'll just try to give you a visual of this. You know how, like, we're all crying unity and peace and all that, and we want everybody to be, like, on the same page, and we say, oh, we all want the same thing down deep inside, you know, except for maybe, like, that 1% who just wants money, you know, and everybody else wants peace, love, and unity in the golden age and all. Okay. So, I was just cracking up because I'm getting all these visuals of like our elder aspects, or the elder soul, the elder aspects of who our soul is, of what stream we are. You know, not the younger versions, but the elders. And I was telling a few people this. It's like they're sitting up there placing bets on how long, like, they're human, like we're like little Sims to them almost, you know? I mean, some of you probably already have this visual and already understand this analogy, but it's almost like they keep telling me, relax, like, this is all fun and games up here. And this is way above. This isn't like the aspects that are still fighting it out, still duking it out, you know, still in the war, still in the warrior fight, resist, you know, stand for this, stand for that. My voice needs to be heard. Like, yeah, like, I'm right, you're wrong. So one of the things I was talking about recently was how both sides that you perceive are going to have to be wrong and are going to have to be right, because there really is no right and wrong. So there's no way, there's no possible way, this has already been figured out, like, there is no way that you can balance and give humanity balance, and you can't expect humanity to balance themselves with themselves, because they're duality. It's all duality. So how do you get the happy middle ground? How do you get the sacred way in the middle? And I've been pondering on this one probably for the last few weeks, a lot more, but not something I haven't come across. And it's like the elder aspects come in and give you a whole new level, a whole new perspective on a certain basic teaching like that, like the sacred middle way, the neutral, the balance. You know, so what perspective could that be other than like this really cool sense that I probably used to have at my grandparents' house when I was a kid, you know? So get in touch with that inner child, right? It makes sense, because you're tapping into aspects of yourself that are the wiser generations, the wiser elder of your soul. And you are that. And you are also the younger versions. So trying to see how many of those versions you can bring into one. You can divide them in two if you want, you know, good and bad, or whatever you want. You can, if you have to group them that way to keep them contained. But once you like fully integrate and you've got your elder souls coming in, you realize that there's this whole level of sense of humor that's not lost on the human ego self, because you get to see like how relations are, you know, in different dimensions or existences, however you want to call that. And you get to see the humor brings about a pure love and a joy in your heart. So like, let's say you're playing a game, and I'll get back to the sucker, because I'll get back to that, you know, the whole title of this is going to be something with the S on the forehead, not the L, the S. All right, I'll tell you that now. So we're about 5 minutes into this, right? Yeah. So, all right, here's the thing. It's always a thing with me, isn't it? Here's the thing. We fall for everything. It's simple. It's like, you know, sucker here, sucker there, sucker this, sucker that. The sucker's a really funny word too if you say it a lot, like sucker, sucker, sucker. So, sucker. Why does that have to have a bad connotation to it? Let's flip that. Let's take that word back. Sucker. And let's be like, yeah, that's solid. I'm a sucker. That means you have to have like so many sucker labels put on you, checked off so many times before you can convert the sucker into seeker, or let's find something more magical for that. But something that is transformed in on the flip side, because everything that you've been a sucker for has taught you. It has taught you, my friends, my family. Every time we fall for something, every time we have a new experience like that, we're learning. And that's the beauty of seeing, like, like we're doing what we want to do. But what's the sucker thing all about? Why do we have to keep tricking ourselves and falling for stuff and manipulation? It comes down to people still taking energy from other people because they haven't figured out how to plug in on the inside. So if you have people taking energy from you in whatever way it is, they're plucking, they're doing this, they're doing that, whatever, they're not giving back when they have their interactions. Relationships like that come down to the center point saying, that's it. You're cut off. Like, you got to plug back into the universe, man, because you've got to balance yourself inside. There's no reason for lying, stealing, cheating, manipulating, raping, murdering, killing. Like, there's no reason for that. We're aware it existed. We're not denying those things are going on. There's no blind side here. It's just saying, we've had enough. Enough is enough. We're unplugged. Because only you know where your true source plug-in is as to what you plug it into, what you're giving energy to. Like, don't feed the trolls you've probably learned a while ago. If you haven't learned that yet, it's going to pick up fast. Things are going to get really fast. So just try to catch yourself. I was doing a podcast with my sister today, my soul sister, Sherry. She invited me to start a podcast with her, and we've been doing some recording to get ready for the launch and everything. And we just had so much fun today. We're laughing back and forth. And, you really need to have a sense of humor going into this, because when the planets align and it comes down to it and the veil's removed, it's like going down a roller coaster hill and screaming, because you don't know what's coming and you're yelling the whole way down. And then there's the level off period where, like, you realize you're okay, you're not going to die. I might go around this and around that, and it depends what roller coaster you're riding. But there comes a point where you kind of go, and you relax because you're safe and everything's okay. You know what I mean? Don't let the bumpy ride get you too much on the way into the new density. All right? Try to just realize that, all right, look, I'm going to take a little drink of iced tea here, right? Now, how could I be a sucker without iced tea? Right? How can I be a sucker? Because it's Arizona green tea, ginseng and honey. And I could say, oh, well, there's a lot of sugar in there. There's this, there's that. They put this chemical in. It's made by this Okay. And you might be absolutely right. And there might be 10 reasons why you think I shouldn't be drinking that or whatever. Not you particularly you, but if you're having these feelings of like, whoa, you're triggered when you see me drinking iced tea, or anybody else doing anything, it could piss you off. It could make you upset. It could make they're doing this. It's not right. It's not right. Okay. So you see something that you feel isn't right. But why do you project that onto me? If I'm drinking this iced tea and my vibe that you don't know has already blessed iced tea and has already taken back with one of my gifts, the whole energetic patterns going back to not just where this is made and produced, but one of my gifts will take it back to where the tea was actually grown, and it would be blessing everybody along the way. So you see, The valuable lesson in this little diatribe here is every single person, regardless of where you think you're at on the journey, okay? Every single person has gifts and abilities. And we may deny that because we're uncomfortable with that within ourselves. We may deny that because we've been conditioned to think that there's no magic in this 3D world. We may deny it because we don't think we are actually worthy or good enough. There's a lot of reasons why we would deny it. But let's not be a sucker for that too. We've been a sucker for just about every bit of conditioning and programming in this world because, and I you know, some people more than others. But this whole place has been about trying to mislead and steer us. It's the whole game. The whole thing has been like this. And they're up there. I'm telling you this. They are up there. There have been bets that have been made. They're playing games. And I know that sounds callous for people. Oh, I'm suffering. Just zoom out of that for a minute. If you're watching my channel, you already have these kind of perspectives. But if you stumble across this and you're wondering, what the heck is she saying? Listen. The upper levels, your more evolved soul aspects, your elders in your tribe of DNA ancestral lineage, okay, for where your blueprint comes from, they've been down the road long enough to be making bets on what we're doing down here, because this is only such a small piece of us. We're literally like, okay, so say it this way. We've talked, you guys have talked and heard, and it's all been through the community, how we're playing 5-dimensional chess here. Or Trump is playing 5-dimensional chess, or someone else is playing it, and it's this against that and whatever. Try to look at it as a chess game in general. Excuse me. And see how they see all of us as pawns, but the bets are on how many of those pawns can get to the other side and become queens. It's not about being the king. This particular game, this particular age that we're moving into, this particular expression of the divine feminine is all about the queen. And that doesn't matter if you're masculine or, if you're in a male body or a female body or how you identify, it doesn't matter. It's the divine masculine, divine feminine energies. This is all about who can take their pawn and get to the other side and become a queen. And there's also bets going on how many queens is this game of life going to produce? Like, interesting, huh? So how do I know there's these bets? Well, that's my inside confirmation. That's my claircognizance. That's my inner source feed and intel that I'm tuning into. That's also being shown to me. So if you're working on trying to establish that, and that's the most important thing in your life right now, then good. Good for you. Good for you. And keep at it. And if you've tried and then stumbled and you're coming back and something just keeps pulling and nugging and tugging, you know, there's always an end to everything, and there's always a new beginning to other things. So as periods and epochs of time end, there's a certain shift that we as a collective can make together, this quantum leap. And so every person remembering that they've been a sucker for everything down here because it's supposed to keep you away from what your true gifts are inside. And your gifts could be corn and potatoes. You know, you could be responsible for gifting all of humanity excellent quantum, higher level density based energetic food because you're eating potatoes and corn, and you realize all the dirty control that they've tried to do with the seeds to pollute and poison and everything that comes just from the corn alone. That was a very big one. So gifting humanity the gift of that healing could be one of your gifts too. You know, you just need 2 or more people. And I can tell you, I've already blessed on my end. So one other person wants to step up and eat some corn and bless the world and the corn, and we can change the whole vibration just of something simple like that. 2 or more people. So my quantum hold for that is the next person that steps up, woo, and then if a lot of people have the same intention and they bless the corn, and it's not just now and the corn that you're seeing, we know in quantum it's past, present, future. So just ask in the quantum moment to bless corn and potatoes for nourishment and for putting back whatever minerals or nutrients that are found within a potato, to put that back in the human body like instantly. Like potatoes will heal you. Yes, they will. So there you go. Anyway, you guys all have special gifts and talents and things that you can use your creative mind to focus your attention on. And so what if you don't have immediate confirmation in 3D? Because if you're banking all of this, and good karma, you know, it's not just, they say, actions and deeds, although actions speak louder than words, but it's also your thoughts. So if your thought creating things that are blessings and wonderful, that's good. You're banking some pretty good karma, right? I mean, I know it might take a little bit more than that, but you know what I mean. Start practicing with that kind of thing. Rediscover what your gifts are, because everybody has gifts and everybody has something to offer. So have fun getting back in touch. Times are speeding up. Find a way to slow down and you're going to be just fine. Just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Have a great night. Love you guys.